What's up, YouTube? This is Jonathan from J Plays Keys, and I'm coming to you here from my hotel room. I'm on a trip, and I don't have any keys with me right now, but I do want to get a video up on the page so people can start, watching it, liking it, hopefully subscribing to the YouTube channel and everything. So I don't have any keys with me, so what am I going to talk about today? I want to talk about 3 things that you can do outside of perfecting your skills to make yourself an awesome church musician. And you know what I'm talking about. So the first thing we think about when we talk about being a better musician is learning more chords, learning more songs, more progressions, more changes, things like that. But there are some things in addition to that will help you be a better church musician. Those things will make you, a better church musician, but they'll make you a better performer, a better musician, and things like that. But how do you become a better church musician? So if that's your goal is to, really be a good leader, worship leader in church, or really be a part of the service, here are some things you can do in addition to, perfecting your talents and things like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Let's get into it. Let me take a look at my notes. All right, so number 1, you want to learn to be attentive to the spirit and the energy of the service or the event you're playing at. What does that mean? You know what it means. You've seen the musician, or maybe you've been the musician that during prayer time, you got some type of shout music going on, or you're listening to some nice smooth prayer music. Maybe they're playing, because of who you are, and you're rocking, got your eyes closed, praying, and then you hear some, run in the middle, and then they try to go back, and catch it back up where the song was. That's awesome, and it's good, for us to be talented and able to do that. But, if we're going to really be great church musicians, we need to be able to flow with the spirit of the service. So maybe, depending on what kind of church you're at, but, maybe if you're, during prayer time, we really want to focus on doing really, really soft things, really smooth songs, and something that really flows with, hopefully, what the pastor's talking about, or whatever the speaker, whatever they're talking about, whether it's faith, love, family, or something like that. You want to be able to flow with that. So if they're doing a song about, being thankful and gratefulness, then you might play a thank you, Lord, or a, grateful, or something like that. But so what I'm trying to say here is that it's bigger than just how well you can play the piano, or the keyboard, organ. It's really how well you can follow what's going on in the service and fit your music to that without somebody really having to turn around and tell you. Because if someone's, a preacher's preaching, and he doesn't have time to turn around and tell you, oh, we need to be playing a slow song or a fast song right now. You kind of got to try to pick that up. You know what I'm saying? So that's number 1. Number 2 is to really get to know your band members. So whether it's just you on, the keys or the organ and the drummer, it's just y'all two. Get to know that other guy, get to know that other girl, and get to know each other, hang out, spend time together at rehearsal and things like that, so that you aren't just strangers. So I played in places where I was a musician, and I just literally just showed up, played the piano, and there was another band, other band members there, and we just played, and we did really good. But I also remember a time like when I was in college and things like that. Of course, we had more time to do stuff like that, but the band, the people that were the musicians, like, we would hang out, we would have lunch together and just talk about what we could do better in the service next week, or planning this church trip that we're going on, what songs we want to do. And we really spent a lot of time outside of church thinking about how to make ourselves better as musicians when we got into service. So being an adult, if you're working and things like that, you don't have time just to sit around and just have philosophy sessions about church and things like that. But maybe you schedule some time, maybe the musicians show up 30 minutes before rehearsal, or maybe I'll talk 15 minutes after rehearsal, and get to know each other. And it doesn't have to always be just about the technicalities of music. Maybe as a small group within the choir, you guys are going to meet for 15 minutes to just talk about how your day was, talk about anything going on in their life that you can pray for them about, or anything they need help with. Because as musicians, we got to know each other really well. I think that's a really big part of when you see these bands in church or playing for these artists that are so good and they're so in tune. It's not really just because they're good musicians. It's because they know each other. They know when, the piano's going to do a solo, and then he's going to hand it off to the guitar player. and like they don't even have to look at each other. They just know it. It's like a like a basketball team, or a football team, and they're just in sync with each other. That happens because you're spending time with each other and you're getting to know each other. So, like I said, if you're in a band and you guys are all in college, we might have plenty of time to sit around and chill and think about music, do extra practice sessions. But if we're working and things like that, it might take a little longer, to get there, but you can still get there. So, like I said, adding 10 or 15 minutes before or after rehearsal, that's a great way to get to know your band and everything, so you guys can start building that synergy. Number 3, take a look at my notes again, is to, learn different styles of music. So a lot of times we grow up and play in the same type of church for like the first 18 years of your life before you actually leave, your parents' church or your grandparents' church and go out on your own. So for me, I went to a lot of different churches, but what that looked like was a very contemporary upbringing up until age 17, 18. And then I went to go and got my first actual piano, job per se. And that switched me over to the AME church, or AME Zion, and then to the Missionary Baptist Church. So going from the very contemporary style over to a style where it's AME Zion, where it's very structured, a lot of hymns and things like that, and then switching again over to a more Baptist style where you have to play not only do you have to play the hymns, but you also have this devotional time before where the deacons come up and they sing songs that are even older than the hymns that you were learning at the AME Zion Church. And I'm just a 19-year-old kid that's, I know Kurt Franklin, I know Byron Cage and all that, but I don't know these kind of like, spirituals and old hymns. So what you got to do is make sure that you are open to those experiences first. So the only way to really learn it is if you're the musician and you're the piano player and they start singing it, just, jump in there. Hopefully if you have a bass player or a drummer, they can kind of keep you on beat and they can give you at least, we're going to the 1, now we're going to the 4. But the best way to learn new styles of music is really just to be thrown into that situation and figure it out. And then after you get done, that Sunday, you take a note of what the songs were. See if you know any musicians that know those songs. Hit them up, call them, talk to them, text them, and see if they can, show you the music to it. Maybe they can, maybe you can find a song on YouTube, or maybe you can listen to it, on YouTube, CDs and things like that. But you got to figure out how to play different styles of music. And that works the opposite way too, because if you've grown up in a very traditional style of playing, and then you go to one of these new age type churches, those chords that you were playing at the AME or the Primitive Baptist Church, a lot of tritones and a lot of blues and things like that, blues influences on that music you're playing, that might not work as well in the contemporary setting. So you got to know, I need to make sure that I'm open to learning new styles of music. So you can be, very flexible. So whatever your church or your choir, your pastor is feeling that Sunday, you can be like, yeah, I can get you there. You don't have to throw up your hands and just be said and just say, I can't play that, I don't know it. So the best way to learn new styles of music is just to jump in there and learn it. And if you're really trying to learn contemporary, that's easy because there's a lot out there on YouTube that you can actually go and listen to those songs. If you're trying to learn the traditional, there's a lot out there on YouTube, but you might not find every single song you're trying to learn. The best way to do that is just to talk to people and, spend time around those older musicians and see what they're playing. And a lot of times it's patterns. It's not so much that you don't know the song. You just got to learn what the patterns are and the tritones and the types of chords, the way that they, form those chords. You just got to learn that, and then you can apply it to multiple different types of songs. So that's all I'm going to talk about for today. Hopefully you got at least one nugget of information that might help you, be a better musician, even if it's not so much me showing you how to play a song, but just, showing you some stuff from my experiences at what I've seen that can make a person a better musician. And I definitely invite you in the comments down below to go ahead and share, what are some things you think would make a person a better musician. I only listed 3, but, people have been playing in church for a long time, and so there's way more than just 3 tips on how to be a better church musician. So I'd love to hear what you got to say. Don't forget to like the video and hopefully subscribe to my channel and share it with other people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.